Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Chesterton's Jest, where we keep a critical eye on faith and culture, especially within the Catholic Church today. In an age where even church teachings seem to be shifting, we're here to explore and question the ideas and changes that challenge timeless truths. Through thought-provoking, often humorous perspectives, we aim to bring clarity to conversations others might avoid, holding fast to orthodoxy with the courage to question what feels off track. If you would like to join us as we dig deeper into the faith with reverence, wit, and a touch of Chestertonian insight, you can support this channel by gently pressing the like, share, and subscribe buttons in that order, and we thank you for your support. And now, without further ado, the myth of overpopulation, debunking the doomsday population crisis. Chapter 1. The terrifying tyranny of numbers. In the modern world, one of the most haunting phrases repeated by the elite and their cohorts is overpopulation. The term itself is designed to trigger an immediate response, a visceral fear that there are simply too many people on this earth, consuming too much of what we hold dear. But let us pause. Is it truly the number of human beings that is the problem, or the increasingly bizarre ideas of those who claim to lead us? The problem is not too many mouths to feed. The problem is too many ideologies attempting to limit those mouths. The overpopulation crisis has been shaped not only by numbers, but also by ideologies that seek to control the world's human population. Population control advocates propose extreme measures such as sterilization, coercive family planning, and even targeting entire communities. In truth, these ideologies aren't merely concerned with numbers. They seek to diminish the dignity of the human person, as if life were something to be planned and rationed, not a divine gift to be cherished. Chapter 2. The unseen blessing of numbers. Now, if one were to sit with a farmer who had a good crop and abundant land, and inform him that he had too many seeds to plant, he would look at you with bewilderment. The farmer knows the intrinsic value of life. More plants mean more harvest, more fruit, more sustenance. Similarly, human beings are not merely consumers of resources, but producers. We are builders, creators, dreamers, and more. The more people there are, the more innovation, love, and good works spring from our shared efforts. Population is a force for life, not a threat to it. It is true that in a world where so many live in poverty or without shelter, one might be tempted to believe that human life has lost its intrinsic value, that the sheer number of people has overwhelmed the systems meant to support them. But this perspective fails to see the deeper truth, that the value of a person is not diminished by their circumstance. The homeless are not burdens to be discarded, but souls to be embraced. Their plight is not a result of too many people, but of a failure in the distribution of resources, a failure to recognize the dignity of every human being, especially those on the margins. Indeed, the solution to homelessness and poverty is not fewer people, but a more compassionate, just, and creative society. As human beings, we have the capacity to solve such problems, to use our numbers not to crowd out resources, but to share and multiply them. When we recognize the dignity of each person, when we reject the myth that some lives are more valuable than others, we open the door to a world where there is enough for all. More people means more hearts, more hands, and more minds dedicated to overcoming the challenges of our time. Chapter 3. The Echoes of Malthus and the Rise of Technocrats. The spectre of overpopulation is rooted in a very old and flawed theory. Thomas Malthus, the prophet of doom, predicted that human numbers would eventually outstrip resources, leading to mass starvation and social collapse. That was 2 centuries ago. Since then, we have not only proven him wrong, but have shown that human ingenuity can transform deserts into gardens and a barren land into a veritable paradise. Yet, Malthus's theories have resurfaced in modern forms, notably in Paul Ehrlich's The Population Bomb. Ehrlich's 1968 book predicted catastrophic outcomes due to rising global populations, including mass famine, pestilence, and societal breakdown. However, his predictions were based on a fear-driven model of science that ignored human creativity and technological progress. Ehrlich's warnings echoed the same fallacies of Malthus, but they were imbued with a sense of urgency that would justify extreme population control measures. The reality, however, has been quite different. Global food production soared, new technologies emerged, and living standards improved significantly in the very regions that Ehrlich predicted would collapse. Ehrlich's fearmongering was not merely a mistake in scientific forecasting, but a political maneuver. His advocacy for sterilization and other extreme measures aimed to impose a technocratic worldview, one where elites would decide who gets to live and who doesn't. This model of population control was framed as the solution to a crisis that, in truth, was largely fabricated. Chapter 4. The God-given dignity of life. Let us consider for a moment the implications of believing that humanity is a problem to be solved. To diminish the value of life is to forget that every human being is made in the image of God, a precious and irreplaceable soul. The push for population control is not merely a policy error, it is a theological one. By suggesting that the world would be better off without certain numbers of people, we are asserting that some lives are worth less than others. And this, dear listener, is a dangerous road to walk. The very idea that life can be reduced to a mere calculation of utility is a dangerous ideology that goes against the natural law. We have seen the results of such thinking in the darkest chapters of human history, where populations were reduced by genocide or mass sterilization. When we treat human beings as mere numbers, we lose the very essence of human dignity, something that can never be measured or calculated. Chapter 5. The Crisis of Abandoning the Family. The root of the overpopulation myth lies in a profound misunderstanding of human flourishing. We are not individuals merely taking up space. We are families, communities, cultures, and when we allow fear of the future to dictate the birth rate, we strip away the future itself. It is no coincidence that nations pushing hardest for population control are also those where the family has been undermined, eroded by a culture that has forgotten the value of children, the heart of any society. The breakdown of the family unit in many modern societies is not a natural result of overpopulation, but a deliberate consequence of ideologies that promote individualism over community and materialism over spiritual values. The solution to a thriving world is not fewer children, but a reinvigoration of family life, a recognition that children are blessings and the cornerstone of any vibrant society. Chapter 6. Population growth as the answer, not the problem. To say we have too many people is to forget one fundamental truth. God has never called his creation too much. From the first, "Be fruitful and multiply," to the generations of man that followed, the world has never had a shortage of souls. And as long as there are people to till the soil and build the roads, there will always be ways to provide for them. In fact, the supposed crisis of overpopulation is more a crisis of imagination and generosity. More people means more ideas, more partnerships, more wealth. It means more good works for the kingdom of God. Ehrlich, Malthus, and their ilk ignore the central truth. The Earth's resources are not limited in the way they think. Human creativity, guided by faith, has continually found new ways to provide for a growing population. Far from a burden, population growth is an opportunity to push the boundaries of science, art, and civilization itself. Chapter 7. Conclusion. Trusting in God, not the elite. In the end, the myth of overpopulation is a political tool, a way to stoke fear, to create a false sense of urgency, and to justify the unjustifiable, the control of human life itself. The truth is that if we trust in the Creator's design, we will find that human flourishing is not a threat to the earth, but a blessing. It is not a crisis, but a gift. We must reject the apocalyptic visions of the doomsayers and instead embrace the reality that every new life is a new opportunity, a new blessing, and a new chance for humanity to rise to its potential. Let us not fall into the trap set by those who seek to manipulate human life for their own ends. Instead, we must embrace a vision of the world where human dignity is upheld, where families are cherished, and where every person is seen not as a problem, but as a solution to the great challenges we face and a testament to God's abundance. If we can live each day as if it were our last, yet live our lives with the wisdom and hope that we will live forever, then we will see the world in its true light. We will see each person, every child, as a miracle unfolding before us, an opportunity for grace, for innovation, for love. It is in this tension between the fleeting and the eternal that we find our highest calling, to protect life, to nurture it, and to build a future that honors the fullness of God's plan. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's video and share our passion for defending the true faith with a touch of humor, be sure to head over to chestertonsjest.com and check out our collection of bold, pro-Catholic graphic tees designed to spark conversation and inspire conviction. Whether you're looking to wear your faith proudly or share a laugh, we've got something for everyone. Visit us today and join the movement, because in times like these, it's more important than ever to stand firm in our beliefs with style and wit. As Chesterton once said, "A madman is not someone who has lost his reason. A madman is someone who has lost everything except his reason." So, let's keep our reason and our faith intact together. Thanks for listening. God bless you, and may the good Lord be praised.